Hello, YouTube, and welcome back to the channel. It is I, your coach Radioactive Mayo, and we are here today because your Connecticut Corviknights are moving on to the championship of the FPE Season 3. Um, you know, it's been a while. It's been at least a few weeks since we even did our semifinal battle. So a lot of stuff has happened. We had, I think we ended the regular season back in like August or something, and the playoffs have been kind of a mess. We actually had two teams drop out of the playoffs, which is very unfortunate. But unless you live under a rock, real life is pretty crazy. So obviously people got things going on in real life. That's totally understandable, and Pokemon League doesn't always take priority, so we get it. But yeah, we're facing the Tennessee Tapus for the championship of the FPE. They were up against the other semifinals matchup. Unfortunately, the other semifinals opponent that they were supposed to face ended up forfeiting and dropping out, which is very unfortunate. But they move on to the championship to face us, your Connecticut Corviknights. So yeah, I'm just gonna get into this matchup really quick. Talk about what we're gonna bring. Obviously, right, this is the championship. Like, we're going all out, guns a-blazing, like, pulling out all the stops. Like, we got to get this win. This is it. Win or go home. There's no other option, right? We're up against Mega Diancie, Kartana, Kyurem, Hawlucha, Darmanitan, Blastoise, Vikavolt, Scrafty, Claydol, Licky Licky, and Togedemaru. Um, I'm gonna be honest right off the bat, straight up off the rip. This team is scary. Like, I don't think my matchup on paper is very good here. Um, Mainly because he has so many just strong offensive threats that synergize really well with each other. The big three just being Mega Diancie, Kartana, Kyurem, 1, 2, 3. Mega Diancie and Kartana both finished top 10 in the kill leaderboard. Diancie at 4th, Kartana at 7th. Both of them are really fast, offensive fairy type and an offensive steel type. Kartana has one of the highest attack stats in the game, which is ridiculous, and beast boost, so it can boost its stats when it gets kills, just making it an insane sweeper threat with immense snowballing potential. Like, if we don't have a check for Kartana, we can just lose to Kartana. Luckily, it's as frail as a piece of paper, which is cool. So, but yeah, Kartana is really scary. We got to make sure we got something to do with that. And same thing with Mega Diancie, right? Hits really hard on both the physical and special side. Moonblast, Diamond Storm, Earth Power. It can do stuff like Calm Mind, Rock Polish. So yeah, we got to make sure we can deal with those two things. And then we see Kyurem, which is like one of the best offensive ice types in the game, without a doubt. We don't really have much to deal with that either, if we're being honest. It's also really bulky. So Kyurem is definitely going to be a tricky mon for us to deal with. I'm expecting it to come like 100%. If it's Choice Scarfed, it's a huge problem because it'll outspeed everything. That's my biggest fear, would be a Choice Scarfed Kyurem. If it's like Substitute, I think we can deal with it, though like it might take a mon or two, so it's gonna be really hard. Hawlucha is like also a huge threat with sweeping potential. Luckily, like, I don't think it's as big of a threat versus my team, and we have stuff like Wheezing that can deal with it pretty well. As well as Mega Bayonetta, of course. And then Darmanitan, same thing with Darmanitan, right? Very strong fire type. Sheer Force Flare Blitz hits like a truck, but we've got stuff for Darmanitan, like Coma O, Wheezing, Gyarados, so, and Scorch. So yeah, Darmanitan, although it's really scary, we've got stuff that can deal with it. I don't know if it'll come. And so that's more or less it for his offense. Like, these first 5 right here are just like so much offense. It's like an overwhelming amount of offense for us to deal with. And then like the remainder of his team is just like you know, a lot of bulk and stuff that's hard for us to deal with. Blastoise is just a solid water type, rapid spinner. I could definitely see it making an appearance this game. I'm not necessarily worried about it though. I think we can wear it down over time. It doesn't have any recovery. Vikavolt, on the other hand, is a Pokemon that I'm pretty scared of. Vikavolt has a pretty good matchup versus my team in particular. Being an electric bug type, I mean, with my team, I only have 3 electric resists, and 2 of them are weak to bug buzz. So, yeah, being Rotomo and Crocodile, so like those things just died of bug buzz. Other than that, Vikavolt is free to just click a Volt Switch. If it specs, it's going to be a huge problem. It can also set up Sticky Web, which is a big deal and something to keep in mind. We could see a Sticky Web, which, only makes his offensive threats even that much more scary, but it's fine. And then, stuff like Scrafty, another fighting type to go along with Hawlucha, but it's more of a bulky dark type. I could definitely see him bringing Scrafty this game for sure. For stuff like Bayonetta and Jirachi, I could definitely see Scrafty coming. But I think we can handle it. And then Claydol plus Licky Licky are just like fat and bulky. Not stuff that I don't think we can handle though. Like, I personally don't think Claydol has a good matchup. I don't expect Claydol to come, and I don't expect Licky Licky to come either because we've got stuff like Coma that can break through them. So, and then lastly, Togedemaru. Togedemaru is like a Pokemon that I could see him actually bringing. Like, I'm not expecting Togedemaru to come, but if it came, I wouldn't be surprised, honestly. It's just an annoying steel type. Like, even though it's like a D tier, it could be really annoying for us to deal with and switch around with the Iron Barbs and like the Nuzzle and like all the shenanigans that it does. It has a Lightning Rod, so it makes it a really good answer to our Lawnmower. So yeah, that's pretty much it for his team, though. Honestly, a lot of offensive threats that we have to balance. I expect this battle to be very, like, hyper offensive, like kill for kill, blow for blow, and we just have to keep up with all of his offense and make sure that we still have a way to win late game. So let's move over and take a look at what your Connecticut Corviknights are bringing to the championship. So, out of the 12 weeks that we've played so far, I've only brought Swellow once. One time. I've only brought Swellow once. I think it was back in week 6, and it did nothing but die in one hit. I don't even think it got off an attack. It might have clicked a U-turn. So, I had to bring Swellow back out for the championship game. This is Swellow's redemption right here. Honestly, Swellow is like the one Pokemon all season that I've used that like hasn't done anything. Like, all my other low tier mons that I've used, like, let's see, I brought Caracosta twice. It came in clutch in like, 2 matchups. It did pretty well. The Centiskorch has come like 3 or 4 times. That thing has put in work every time I brought it almost. And let's see, what else do I have? Porygon 2 puts in work when I bring it. So yeah, like, all my low tiers have been doing work this season, except for Swellow. Swellow has done nothing. So you know what? We're bringing Swellow out for the redemption, the championship, and we're bringing a choice band set. All right, we're bringing choice banded Swellow. Now you can see we got some moves here: Steel Wing, Brave Bird, Heat Wave, and U-turn. So, first of all, right off the bat, Swellow is naturally faster than everything on our opponent's team, just in terms of base speed. So the only things that can outspeed Swellow are if he brings Choice Scarf Mons. I am expecting him to bring at least one Choice Scarf Pokemon. That could be anything from Kartana, Kyurem, Darmanitan. Those are basically the only 3 that I think he could bring that are Choice Scarfed. So we have to figure out if they are, but other than that, Swellow will outspeed everything, and a Choice Banded Brave Bird hits his team hard. He doesn't really have a good Brave Bird resist. I mean, he does, but like the only one that's good is Togedemaru. If he brings Togedemaru, it's going to be unfortunate for Swellow. But the only other Brave Bird resist he has is Mega Diancie, and we have Steel Wing for that. So Steel Wing will one-hit KO Mega Diancie every time, and we will naturally outspeed it every time. So this makes Swellow a reliable check to Mega Diancie. We can just click Choice Banded Steel Wing. Also, a Choice Banded Steel Wing will 2-hit KO Kyurem every time if it has no bulk investment or after Stealth Rock damage. So that's really good. So yeah, we can just click Steel Wing on Diancie and potentially Kyurem. And that's really good. Brave Bird is amazing for stuff like Scrafty. Also, Vikavolt. It'll hit that super effectively. And we also have Heat Wave. So we're packing Heat Wave only for Kartana. So Swellow will naturally outspeed Kartana and revenge kill it with Heat Wave every time. We have to watch out to know whether or not it's Choice Scarfed, but Heat Wave will one-hit KO Kartana every time. And then our last move is just going to be U-Turn, just to get some momentum if, you know, he's got some bulky things that are still around, like Blastoise or Togedemaru. We can just U-Turn out on it. But yeah, I think this is a good opportunity for Swellow to come out and get some redemption. I don't know if he's going to expect me to bring the Swellow. He might, because I think it looks pretty good in this matchup, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see what he has in response to the Swellow. Like I said, we got to figure out if he brings a Choice Scarfer. I'm expecting it to be either Kartana, Kyurem, or Darmanitan. But we've got ways to figure that out. So hopefully Swellow can get some redemption in this game. Next up, we're bringing Jirachi. We have to bring reliable old Jirachi. You know, Jirachi is amazing for our team. We're bringing specially defensive Jirachi. Max HP, max special defense. This is going to serve as our defensive answer to the Mega Diancie and the Kyurem. Specially defensive Jirachi can take any hit from Mega Diancie, even an Earth Power, and we can knock that thing out with Iron Head, which is really good. Same thing goes for Kyurem. If he brings an offensive Kyurem, we can eat Ice Beams for days because of our special defense. We can eat Dragon Pulses, and we have got Iron Head for that as well. Yeah, so we got to watch out for the Earth Powers, but that's why we have Wish and Protect. An Earth Power from Mega Diancie or Kyurem won't 2-hit KO us, and we can heal up with Wish Protect and potentially knock them out with Iron Head. So that's really good for Jirachi. And then for our other move, we're just bringing Fire Punch. Fire Punch is there to hit stuff like Kartana and also Vikavolt. Like I said, Vikavolt is a huge problem for our team to deal with, and Jirachi is going to be potentially a main switch into Vikavolt if we need it to be. So we got Fire Punch to hit Vikavolt for good damage, and we'll naturally outspeed it, which is good. So yeah, that's basically the idea behind Jirachi. Just provide support to switch into some of his offense. So moving on, yeah, we're bringing Weezing here. You already know we got Weezing. You know what Weezing does. It's just fat and defensive. We've got a decent amount of speed investment in this Weezing here, which might seem kind of weird. But that's just because I want to outspeed stuff. Like this speed investment will outspeed a max speed Vikavolt every time, so we can hit it with Flamethrower. Like I said, I don't want to give Vikavolt a lot of opportunities to click Volt Switch in front of my team, so a lot of times I might just want to stay in and attack Vikavolt because I don't have a good switch into it. So if we have to, we can just stay in with Weezing and we can Flamethrower Vikavolt, and we'll always outspeed it, which is good. And then the rest of our investment is just going into defense. Because this thing is going to serve as our answer to his offensive fighting types. His two offensive fighting types being Hawlucha and Scrafty. Don't know if he will bring the Hawlucha. I am expecting him to bring Scrafty, but this thing is an excellent answer to Scrafty. We can knock it out with a Strange Steam. We can also knock out Hawlucha with a Strange Steam. And yeah, we've got Toxic just to be able to Toxic stuff. Stuff like Blastoise, stuff like Licky Licky, stuff like Claydol, stuff like Kyurem even. And yeah, we don't have to worry about Diancie's Magic Bounce because we are a Poison type, so we're immune to it. So it doesn't really matter. And yeah, we can also Toxic Vikavolt, which would be great, and then Pain Split just to stay healthy. So I think Weezing will be nice here. We got the Levitate, so we can be immune to stuff like Earth Power from Kyurem and Diancie, and Earthquakes from Darmanitan, stuff like that, which is good. I didn't think the other Weezing's other abilities were going to be super useful here, so we're just bringing Levitate. And yeah, that's pretty much it for defensive Weezing. Defensive Weezing with a lot of speed creep to get these hits off. So yeah, moving on, we're bringing the Coma O. This is a pretty standard Coma O set, right? Nothing too crazy here. We're just bringing max defense Coma O. This is like a standard Coma O set that you might find on like the OU ladder. Like I know it's kind of boring, but we're bringing it to the championship because it's good. It's really good in this matchup. I actually need the defensive Coma O to be able to switch into stuff like Darmanitan. This is going to serve as our main answer to the Darmanitan. And it's also going to serve as an answer to Kartana, most importantly, because with the max defense, we can take any hit that Kartana wants to go for, and we can knock it out every time with Flamethrower here. So that's why we have Flamethrower. This thing serves as a nice Kartana check. Assuming it has no boosts, we can live any hit, even a Psycho Cut, which is great. But yeah, the main attack here that we're going to be going for is Body Press. You guys know what Body Press does. It uses our defense stat instead of attack stat and calculation. So coming off 383 defense, Body Press is going to do a lot of damage. It's going to hit like an offensive move, even though we are defensive. And looking at his team, he doesn't really have any good Body Press switch-ins. I mean, he could switch in Vikavolt, but any chip damage I get on Vikavolt is good because Vikavolt is a huge problem. And we also have Flamethrower to hit Vikavolt. Body Press, I mean, he could switch into Claydol. Claydol would be a great answer to Coma O if he brought it. But like I said, I don't exactly expect him to bring Claydol, so I'm not too worried about it. But yeah, that's pretty much all that he has to switch into a Body Press. So we're pretty free to just click Body Press. And then our last two moves are just Stealth Rock and Protect. So it might seem a little weird to have Protect randomly, but first of all, I wanted Stealth Rock because his team is weak to Stealth Rock. It's going to be really nice for wearing down stuff like Kyurem, Darmanitan, and Vikavolt. Those are the big three. If we can get Stealth Rock up early on, that is going to be great because those things taking chip damage upon switching is perfect. We need that chip damage on Kyurem. That's going to be essential. And that chip damage on Vikavolt could be the difference between putting it in range of stuff like Fire Punch and Flamethrower. So, yeah. That's the idea behind Stealth Rock. I want to get Stealth Rock up early. He does have some hazard removal that he can use to get rid of Stealth Rock, like Rapid Spin on Blastoise and Claydol. But we have a spin blocker in Mega Bayonetta. So like we could potentially switch Mega Bayonetta in on Blastoise and prevent it from going for Rapid Spin. And he doesn't really have any defoggers outside of Kartana, but if Kartana clicks defog, that just means it's not clicking an attack, and I'm okay with that. The last move Coma O has is Protect. Like I said, I don't really need any other moves other than Body Press and Flamethrower, because these are the only two moves I need to like do damage to his team. So we just have Protect here. First of all, it's going to give us Leftovers Recovery, which is good, and it's also going to scout to see just like what moves he goes for. So if I know something is Choice Scarfed, you know, I can click Protect, and I'll know what move it's going for. And then, you know, if it switches up moves, I'll know it's not Choice Scarfed, something like that. So Protect is really just for scouting and getting Leftovers Recovery. I think it could come in handy, but I think most of the time we're just going to set up Stealth Rock and we're just going to click Body Press, maybe Flamethrower if we want to check something. And then, yeah, our ability is just Soundproof. Nothing else was really useful, and I just like Soundproof because we can switch into a Bug Buzz from Vikavolt and be immune to that, and we also resist Electric-type moves. So this thing could serve as a switch into Vikavolt if it needed to. So yeah, that's the idea behind Coma O. Now moving on, we've got Gyarados. Gyarados here is going to be a Choice Scarf set. So we're bringing some speed with Gyarados here. I don't know if we brought Choice Scarf Gyarados before, but we're bringing it here. I'm actually rocking it with Intimidate instead of Moxie. You know, I don't think Moxie is like terribly useful, just because like I don't think it has that much sweeping potential versus his team. But I just want the Choice Scarf Gyarados to be able to revenge kill stuff on his team, right? And Intimidate can be useful to switch it in and get the attack lower on stuff like Kartana, Darmanitan. With Intimidate, this thing could serve as a switch into Darmanitan, which is nice. And yeah, even stuff like Scrafty, you know, getting Intimidate off is great. I think it's worth it for me to bring Intimidate here. And then, yeah, we're just bringing 4 attacks. Flamethrower Gyarados, once again, Flamethrower is only here for Kartana, so with the Choice Scarf, we'll have enough speed to outspeed Kartana guaranteed, and we can knock it out with a Flamethrower. So we might be able to see Gyarados click Flamethrower in the championship. That'd be pretty cool. And then Waterfall, Earthquake, Stone Edge basically hit everything else on his team that I need to hit. Stone Edge for stuff like Kyurem and Vikavolt. Waterfall for pretty much everything, and Earthquake is for the mainly stuff like Togedemaru, Diancie, Darmanitan, stuff like that. So yeah, we have enough speed to outspeed max speed Hawlucha after a Choice Scarf. Excuse me. It is worth noting that if he brings any Choice Scarfers of his own, they will still outspeed our Choice Scarf Gyarados. So finding out which Choice Scarfers he decides to bring is going to be paramount in winning this game. Now, last but certainly not least, we have our Mega Bayonetta. I had to bring Mega Bayonetta here with the Destiny Bond, you already know, because it's so good versus these hyper-offensive teams, because when he has all of these hyper-offensive threats that like are so hard for me to deal with, getting a safe switch into Bayonetta and clicking Destiny Bond is just a great way to deal with any one of these things, like Kartana, Kyurem. I can just bring in Bayonetta, click Destiny Bond, and remove them, and that's going to be great for potentially cleaning up with stuff like Swellow, you know. And yeah, we're bringing Max Attack, Adamant, because we want to do damage. Shadow Sneak could come in handy for picking off stuff at low HP. Stuff like Diancie, stuff like Kyurem, maybe even Hawlucha, Darmanitan. Shadow Sneak could be great. Knockoff is mainly just for his bulky stuff. Stuff that we naturally outspeed. You know, stuff like Blastoise, Claydol, Licky, Vikavolt, any of those things. We can just click Knockoff on them, which is really good. And then lastly, we have Will-O-Wisp. I don't know if I'm going to end up needing to go for Will-O-Wisp, but that's really just there for Scrafty. If Scrafty is still alive, it's a pretty good switch into Mega Bayonetta, and we can predict that and potentially go for Will-O-Wisp. So yeah. We've also got the Frisk to see some items, which hopefully I can find the Choice Scarfer. But yeah, enough speed here to outspeed, I think it's max speed Vikavolt. Or Scrafty, one or the other. Max speed Scrafty. I think it's max speed Scrafty, actually. So yeah, that's good. So yeah, that's it for Bayonetta, really. It's just Destiny Bond is going to be great in this matchup, I think. And yeah, so that's what we're bringing in the championship, guys. I hope I didn't talk too much. My voice is shot. It's going to be a tough game. It's going to be a very tough game. But you know what? We're going to bring out all the stops. So yeah, go over now and watch our championship video. Thanks for watching the Team Builder analysis, and yeah, I'll see you guys over in the championship. Later.